I don't know what it is about the show, but the show is so raw. And it's not even like it's pleasant, if that makes sense. Like, it's too real. How many shows do you see a girl sitting on a toilet changing her pad? How many shows? Name a show. I don't know. Okay, hello, welcome back. My name is Kegs and you're at my channel again. So I'm glad to see you here. I just want to say I am so happy again. I know I always say this, but I really don't expect it. You guys were in the comment section discussing this show and I am so appreciative. So here on my channel for these discussions, I usually do a thing called Can I Get Two Snaps? It's basically where I give highlight to the comment of the week, a comment that I thought deserves to be heard and shared amongst our little group and community. So for this week's Can I Get Two Snaps is going to Kelena85. I don't know if I butchered that, I'm sorry, but I loved your comment. The story is different in that the storyline seems like it's going to follow the victim and how she deals with the events of the night, and not just solve the crime. I'm so glad you're discussing this show and look forward to your thoughts. Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to all of your thoughts as well. That's why this is a discussion. I don't have all the answers. I don't think my opinions mean anything. But yeah, I like that. It's not like someone else in the comments said, it's not like SUV, yeah. It's not like Law and Order SUV where someone gets raped and then we go find the criminal who did it. This is about looking in the lens of a woman and seeing how she deals with this trauma, and I think that is so interesting and that is so important in our society today. This episode was something else. It was eye-opening. It was kind of interesting and hella gross. So in the last discussion, I wanted to know what happened between Arabella and Terry in Italy. And in this episode, we go 3 months prior to the incident. So Arabella's in Italy working on her paper because her publishers sent her there. And being a really good friend, in my opinion, in this moment, Arabella invited Terry over to hang out with her and party it up in Little Italy. So the girls basically have like a eat, love, and drugs moment. Not pray. They ain't praying. They high spiritually on them drugs. But Terry comes and she provides the marijuana. She smuggled marijuana into Italy. During this episode, I questioned a lot about the character of these two women, specifically their roles for each other. I see them both as carefree women. Arabella's the writer, Terry is an actress. But I feel like before Arabella got big, which was probably out of luck for her book to get viral over Twitter, but I believe Arabella and Terry were at the same point in life, both struggling to get some coins, looking for a quick high to relieve their sort of stress of life. So within this episode, Terry said a lot of telling things. She said things like, she feels like her life is not moving. When is my own privilege arriving? I want to do what I love, which is acting, and get paid. And I could empathize with Terry because I understand seeing other people and wanting the same success that they have, or questioning your life and wondering, if they can make it, how come I haven't made it yet? But now I'm starting to wonder, as this show goes on, will Terry become envious of Arabella? Or is there an underlining envy already there between the two? I really liked the line that they were reciting to each other when they were on the bed. They said, your birth is my birth, your death is my death. And I was questioning what that really meant. This is my this is like my interpretation of it. I don't know if it's correct, but I'm like, if the team wins, we all win. If the team loses, I am here for you and I will mourn with you. Like, sort of like that. I don't know if that's what it meant, but that's how I took it. But like, the team has to come up together. We're all gonna come up. I don't know. That's what I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, Terry seems to have has a couple of objectives for this trip for Italy. On the bed, she was saying, I want to F somebody in this bed. Basically, she just wants to get laid tonight. And secondly, she wants to meet a guy that provides quantum physics and her height. She doesn't want to meet a baller with no substance. She needs complexity. She needs her height, which was like the thing she kept on saying. I don't know why that's important, but that's what she wants, and that's what she is hoping to find. And we will come back to that one. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the drug use between Arabella and Terry. I am quite shocked. They go hard. They are heavy drug users, and it's not their first time around. So they seem to have a wide variety, a wide range, a wide taste, I guess you could say. They love the alcohol, they love the weed, they love that white powder, and they love their friend Molly. So as they are venturing high and floating through the town, meeting strangers, meeting people, they go to a restaurant and they meet a waitress, Matilda. And this waitress puts them on to a plug where they could buy more drugs. And guess who this plug is? This plug is Biagio. So Biagio is the plug with the good stuff, and I'm just like, sis, I was like, oh, now I see your game, girl. You are dating the guy to get your fix. I don't know, but that's what I saw. Nah. She actually likes him though. But later on, I'm going to talk about Biagio and Arabella. So as they get to the club, they are ready to get down. They're ready to basically ball up and go off. And they go into the washroom, and then Terry brings out the menu and she asks Arabella, what shall we be having today? And we can see that Terry is the more responsible drug user, I guess you could say, than Arabella is, because Terry acknowledged like she's still coming down from the weed. She doesn't want to mix coke with Molly. She's like, just one at a time. And Arabella's like, why not both? Why not have a party? And she's like, nah, chill. And Arabella's like, yeah, okay, bet. Okay. So as they're experiencing their next trip, Arabella leaves Terry to go to the bathroom to get a little sniff. She comes back and Terry's like, where's my drink? So Arabella told Terry, oh, I'm gonna go get you a drink. But she lied instead to go get another high. And she's like, okay, I'll go back. And guess what she does? She goes back to the washroom, takes another line. She meets some girls in the washroom, and the girl gives her likely Molly. This girl is gonna be shit-faced. And like, I'm questioning, like, is this not enough for her? Like, why does she keep on going back? Like, can she really handle this? This is not her first time. She does this on the regular. To be hitting it and hitting it back to back like that, where did she get all this from? And I'm just like, what is Arabella doing? She's doing way too much. She's yelling at the DJ, play Drake, play Drake. She's winding up on stage, showing her panty line. And I was like, no. Like, she has no damn shame. And this brings up a touchy subject. And I am just speaking, I wanted to have a conversation about it. The scene made me think, because knowing what I know, we know that Arabella got sexually assaulted. She got raped. This is going to be touchy. This is going to be controversial. But I think that's the whole point. We kind of see the way she moves, the way she acts. And I am not saying that is a reason for why she got raped. I am not saying that at all. But knowing that the world is not perfect, I think it's our individual duty to be conscious and to be responsible. If two people are going out to party together, I personally believe both people can't be shit-faced. One person has to be there making some type of sense. And within this pairing, Terry was sober enough to make the decision to leave Arabella when she can see that Arabella was intoxicated. And that frustrated me so much. I'm like, she does not know what's going on and you're leaving? And you're leaving? Is that a good friend? I know you're not having a good time, But how can you leave your homegirl who doesn't even know what you're saying to her in a foreign Italian club, and you think you're okay to walk alone by yourself through the streets at night? I'm honestly thankful for Biagio because I thought it was funny that he was just in the club like that, but thank God he was, because if he wasn't there, Arabella would not have made it home. Who knows what would have happened to her? She was dropping her passport. She was dropping her keys. She couldn't walk straight. She really didn't know where she was going. And Biagio was just there, being a gentleman, being sort of like her guardian angel. And Terry, I was really disappointed in Terry. But this doesn't all fall on Terry, because I don't know what Arabella was thinking. I think that was very selfish and very self-serving to go off into the bathroom and just keep on getting high, keep on doing drugs, while you're leaving your best friend who you invited to take care of, to hang out with, and you just left her to dry. And she's a shit friend for doing that too. And now I sort of understand why Terry was crying in the last episode. Obviously, she was crying for her friend getting sexually assaulted, and she feels helpless, like she couldn't do anything. But I also feel like she was reflecting and thinking back to the time where she abandoned Arabella at the club. She abandoned her, and she was probably thinking, oh my God, that could have happened there too, and I left her. What happened to your birth is my birth, your death is my death? When I tell you, my heart was beating as Terry was walking through the streets at night in Italy, because the previous episodes already make us feel tense, and we already think bad things are just gonna automatically happen. But my guard was up the whole time in Terry's scenes, because I did not trust those men. I thought Giovanni was the weirdest thing ever. I wanted her to continue walking and just go home. But obviously she was curious and she wanted to have a good time tonight. I never trusted Giovanni the minute he opened his mouth. Guys who just yell at you on the street and tell you you're beautiful, cool, thanks, but just keep on walking. Don't stop to chat. Just keep on going, because you do not know their intention behind them saying you're beautiful. Because guess what? Prince Charming can be the devil, okay? The only thing I got from Terry leaving Arabella and accepting the conversation with Giovanni is she felt like she was forgotten in the club with Arabella, and she just wanted to be seen for once. She wanted to be seen. And it was funny how when Giovanni is getting to know her and ask her about herself, she doesn't say, oh, I'm an actress. No, she says, I'm a writer. And she decides to take on the persona, or steal sort of like the life of Arabella. That's more impressive than her being a struggling actor. So Giovanni and Terry are dancing. They're having a good time. And then you see another guy standing by the doorway just staring at Terry. And his staring made me so uncomfortable. It made my skin crawl. So Giovanni leaves to go get a drink, and I'm just like, okay, red flag. Don't ever let a guy go get you a drink. I don't care. I just don't care. Don't let anybody get you a drink. You go with them to get the drink, or you get the drink yourself. So that was like already a red flag for me. And then the new guy comes and says, oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. Like, I can't help myself. Can I get a dance with you? And I'm just like, sis, this is so weird to me. Don't. And then Giovanni comes back and sees them dancing. And he's just smiling, grinning ear to ear. And he hands her the drink. And he's like, oh, no problem. You could dance with her too. And in my mind, I'm just like, this is so weird. It is weird for two men to be okay with sharing a woman, you know? Because it's usually like, hey man, don't touch my girl. Like, don't you see I'm talking to her? Like, who are you, bro? Like, step up. And I'm just like, okay. And being like, oh, you could dance with her too. And then I'll dance with her after. I thought that was weird and unsettling. And maybe in the back of my mind, maybe I was like, maybe this is a culture thing. Maybe this is what Italian men are. But I'm used to a guy being like, hey, I'm talking to her. She's mine. Back off. But they were like, oh yes. It was like, ugh. And Terry fell for it. She loved the attention, and essentially she thought she was in control. Because accustomed in Terry's life, she's at the beck and call of other people. And she essentially has no control over her life, and she was complaining about this. And when they were starting their first high of the Molly on the couch, and then it hit Arabella first, and it hit Terry first, Arabella said one thing to Terry. She said, control what you can, no more, no less. She made the decision to sleep with these two men because that was her way of taking control. But then in the end, we see she got played by them, because as she's looking out the window and the two men are leaving, they basically like daps and high five each other because they pretended like they didn't know each other. It's like that psychology mind trick where you could make someone feel like it was their idea, they made the decision. And that's what they did to her essentially. They groomed her, they made her feel special, they made her feel beautiful, and they put in her mind that it was her idea to go through with the threesome. Because if you think about it, if they said, hey, want to have a threesome with us, Terry would have said no. But they made her feel a certain way for her to go through with this decision. And it was yet another thing she didn't truly control within her life. Okay, so I'm gonna apologize to Biagio because the way we were introduced to him in the first episode, we thought essentially he was just an F-boy, a guy that just couldn't commit to anything and didn't want to. But now I see the reasoning for why he doesn't necessarily want to commit to Arabella. Biagio is a drug dealer that doesn't do drugs, and what an oxymoron. I know. I laughed at that. But when you hear the reasoning behind it, you understand it. Because he grew up in a house full of addicts. His mom died because of a heroin addiction, I believe, and so did his sister. So it's in the family line, and he's trying to stay far away from that. There's like a weird attraction that he has for her, and I don't know if it's because he's accustomed to being the caretaker and taking care of damaged people, but I don't think he wants to get too close to her because that's just going to be another heartbreak for him. Another heartbreak in the sense that if she continues down this path and if he decides to be with her, he might lose her, and it's not going to be because of a breakup. Like, I don't know if you can say Biagio is a real one. He is down for anything, but that was hella nasty. Why would anyone on this planet want to have sex during their period? And he was like, we could try. And she's like, yes, let's go. And I was like, sis, when I tell you I almost puked, like I went when he picked up the blood clot and was touching it and was playing with it. And he's like, it's so soft. Do you feel this when this comes out of you? And I was like, nigga, what? And he made it so weird, and it did turn off Arabella, yet he still wanted to hang out with her. He's like, this isn't the end of the night. Let me take you somewhere. And I was like, oh. But at the same time, I was like, ew. At the end of the episode, he takes her to the beach, and he basically tells her, stop doing drugs. That's what he says. I like how the way he says it. Bella, stop doing drugs. Stop the drugs. No, he says, stop the drugs. I played it over and over. Stop the drugs. And Bella's like, stop trying to regulate the things. And he's like, okay, but when you get in trouble, don't come crying to me, because he's been through it and he knows what's about to happen. And I think that is exactly why Arabella was hesitant to even talk to Biagio and tell him what happened. And I hope in future episodes we will see this happen. So thank you for watching this video. I'm glad that you're back. Please, let's start this discussion. Let's talk about this episode. Let's talk about what you guys think. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I guess you could subscribe if you like me enough. Share this video with your friends. Bring your friends over here. Let's all talk about it. let's all have a good time. So yes, thank you for watching. Okay, let me chill. Chill. Okay, bye.